She trusted him like family until the moment they were alone. What the uncle did next will leave you speechless. This is the heartbreaking story of an 11-year-old girl whose innocence was stolen. Nia was an 11-year-old girl with a heart full of wonder and a voice full of songs. She lived in a small apartment in the city with her mother and younger brother, Tumi. Her days were simple but bright, mostly because she filled them with music, humming in the halls, singing quietly to herself, and dreaming of one day becoming a famous singer. Everyone at school knew Nia loved to sing. Her teachers praised her for her beautiful voice, and she always carried a small notebook where she wrote her own songs and lyrics. Her mother, a kind but exhausted nurse, worked long shifts at the city hospital. Many evenings, she returned home after the children were asleep. Nia had grown up a little faster than most girls her age. She helped Tumi with his homework, made him sandwiches, and told him stories until he drifted off to sleep. Though her life was busy and sometimes lonely, she always found time to sing and dream. One Friday afternoon, Nia came home to find her mother packing her nurse's bag with snacks and an extra water bottle. "I have to cover a night shift this weekend," she said, giving Nia a tired smile. "Uncle Tabo is coming to stay with you and to me tomorrow night." Nia nodded. She liked Uncle Tabo. He was their mother's cousin and always brought snacks, told jokes, and made Tumi laugh until he had hiccups. He was loud, a little silly, and wore socks that didn't match. Saturday evening arrived, and the apartment was filled with the smell of popcorn and the sounds of Tumi giggling as Uncle Tabo made faces at him. Nia smiled when the door opened, and he walked in holding a bag of chips and 2 juice boxes. "My favorite niece and nephew," he declared loudly. "Hi, Uncle," Nia said. She was always polite, always warm. Tumi ran to him, clinging to his legs like a baby monkey. The evening was normal. Pizza for dinner, a cartoon marathon, and laughter echoing through the living room. But once Tumi had gone to bed, things began to change. "Let's watch a movie," Uncle Tabo said, patting the couch. "Just us singers, grown-up time." Nia glanced at the clock and hesitated. "It's kind of late. Maybe I should sleep now." "Oh, come on. Just one movie," Uncle Tabo said with a warm smile. "You've had a long day. You deserve a little fun." Nia bit her lip, then nodded slowly. "Okay, just one." She sat down, hugging her knees tightly. Uncle Tabo smiled broadly and put on a funny cartoon movie, the kind filled with silly characters and loud, colorful scenes. For a little while, the apartment felt warm and happy. Nia even found herself laughing at his jokes and funny faces. The sound of Tumi's sleepy giggles filled the room, and for that moment, everything seemed normal. But then, after about an hour, Uncle Tabo's mood shifted. He grabbed the remote and clicked away the cheerful cartoon. The screen flickered, and suddenly, a different film began to play. This one was darker, filled with strange scenes and unfamiliar faces. It wasn't like any movie Nia had ever watched before. The voices were low and strange, and the pictures made her feel cold and nervous inside. Nia's eyes grew wide as she stared at the screen. She felt a tight knot in her stomach and wanted to look away, but she didn't dare. The movie showed things she had never seen or heard about, things that made her skin crawl. Her hands trembled a little and her breath came faster. "What is this?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. Uncle Tabo glanced at her with a calm, serious look. "It's something grown-ups watch. It's fun, but you have to be brave." Nia swallowed hard. "I don't like it. Can we watch something else?" No, he said gently, putting his arm closer around her shoulder. You're old enough now. You can try a little. It's just a game, something special between us. Nia shook her head quickly, her heart racing. No, I don't want to. But Uncle Tabo was patient and persistent. He told her it was their secret, that no one would ever know. He promised she'd be safe and that he would be with her. His voice was soft but firm, and she felt confused, scared, and trapped all at once. The room felt smaller, the air heavier. Nia's hands clenched into fists in her lap. Her mind screamed to run, but her feet didn't move. After a long silence, Uncle Tabo stood and gently took her hand. Come on, just a little, he whispered. Nia's legs felt like they were made of stone. She followed him quietly, tears prickling in her eyes. They walked down the hall and into her mother's bedroom, the one room she always thought was safe, and where her mother kept her secrets and dreams. The door closed behind them, muffling the sounds from the rest of the apartment. The moment they tried to play the game they had watched in the movie, then the pain came. It was sharp, deep, and unlike anything Nia had ever felt before. She wanted to scream, but the fear held her silent. Tears streamed down her face as she cried quietly, feeling small and alone. Her heart shattered in a way she didn't understand. Why was this happening? Why did Uncle Tabo, someone she liked and trusted, hurt her? Nia curled into herself, wishing the night would end, wishing to be safe again. When she finally fell into a restless sleep, her pillow was soaked with tears. A notebook stayed closed on her desk, her singing dreams silenced by fear. And in the quiet darkness, one question echoed louder than any voice. Had she done something wrong? The next morning, Nia's eyes were red and puffy. She moved through the house like a shadow, silent, slow, and smaller than usual. When her mother returned from her shift at the hospital, tired but relieved to see her children safe, she immediately noticed something was off. Nia didn't greet her at the door like she usually did. She didn't hum in the kitchen while making breakfast, or help Tumi tie his shoelaces with her usual gentle patience. She barely touched her food and winced when her mother reached to brush something off her shoulder. Nia? Her mother asked, kneeling down to meet her eyes. Did something happen while I was away? Nia shook her head quickly, avoiding her mother's gaze. That evening, while Nia was in her room, and Tumi played quietly in the living room, her mother began folding the laundry. As she picked up Nia's pajama top from the night before, she noticed something odd, tiny smudges of blood and a faint tear near the bottom hem. Her heart dropped. A cold feeling spread through her chest. She immediately went to Nia's room. Nia, sweetheart, can you come talk to me? Nia sat still on the bed, clutching her pillow like a shield. Her mother sat beside her, held her hand, and gently asked, Did something happen this weekend? Did someone hurt you? Tears welled up in Nia's eyes. Her lips trembled, and her whole body tensed. She didn't want to speak. She didn't want to remember. But her mother waited, soft, patient, and open. Finally, in a broken whisper, Nia said, Uncle Tabo, he did something bad. He made me watch something, and then he said not to tell anyone. Her mother's face turned pale. The words hit her like a wave, shocking, terrible, undeniable. She wrapped Nia in her arms, holding her tightly. Oh, my baby. I'm so sorry, she whispered. You did nothing wrong. Nothing. You were so brave to tell me. That night was full of tears and soft reassurances. Nia's mother didn't leave her side. She called the hospital to say she wouldn't make her next shift. Then she called the police. Uncle Tabo was arrested within 48 hours. The investigation began immediately. A trained officer came to their apartment, and with her mother beside her, Nia gave her first full statement. Every word was difficult, but she got through it slowly, quietly, bravely. A child therapist was assigned to her case. Nia began attending sessions each week where she could talk or draw or simply sit in silence until she was ready. And her mother, once so tired and distant from her long shifts, was now fiercely present every moment, every day, holding Nia close as she healed. The weeks after everything happened were not easy for Nia. Some nights she would wake up scared, her heart beating fast. Sometimes she saw people who looked like Uncle Tabo and felt nervous. But little by little, things started to get better. Her mother stayed close to her, holding her and saying, "You are safe now, Nia. You are not alone." At therapy, Nia found it hard to talk about what she felt. But her therapist, Mrs. Zanelli, gave her a small microphone one day and said, "Sing what you feel inside. Use your voice to show your feelings." At first, Nia's singing was very quiet. She felt shy and scared to sing out loud. But each day she practiced more and more. Her voice became stronger. Singing helped her feel brave. It helped her heal. One day, Nia's school announced a singing contest. She thought about not joining, but then she decided to try. Not because she wanted to win, but because she wanted to share her voice and feelings with others. On the day of the contest, Nia was very nervous. Her hands shook and her heart was pounding. But when she started to sing, something changed. Her voice was full of emotion and courage. The whole room was quiet, listening to her story through her song. She did not win first place, but that did not matter to her. For the first time, Nia felt strong inside. She found her voice, not just to sing, but to speak her truth and be heard. From that day on, Nia knew she could face anything. She was not a scared girl anymore. She was a girl with a brave heart and a beautiful voice.